Good day, this is Lukian Bulls TV. Got to deal with these guys on the court, but we're gonna talk about the classic class today, the next class. But first, I gotta hit the shot because I'm Kobe-like. I know you've seen it. Let's go. Good day, guys. I know we talk about the XL conversation as well, but I decided to have that save that for another day. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the classics and why I don't use the word classic anymore, as well as considering should the classic class be cut. Now, if there is a classic class that exists for dogs that are considered to be less substantial from 17 to 20 inches, I would like to know why there isn't a classic class for the pocket and the XL variety. Okay, it doesn't make sense to me. I've just been thinking about this for some time, and people will say there's no such thing as a pocket classic, which there isn't, and there isn't anything as a classic XL, which there shouldn't be. So why is there a classic version of the standard? That doesn't make sense to me. It's the same thing as when people evaluate a standard with bad conformation and a classic with good conformation, and somehow, magically, through the powers of the universe, they still consider the standard with bad conformation to be better than the classic. Now we need to decide, if there isn't going to be a classic class for every variety, why is there a classic class in the first place? Really ask yourself that question, because people are going to say, oh, well, it's supposed to be there for less substantial dogs. Okay, so then it should be applied to every class. Oh, well, some people are going to say, well, the dogs weren't meant to be less substantial. So why is there a classic class in the first place? So to me, I would like the ABKC to clearly state somehow, because clearly the difference between classic and standard right now is so up in the air, undistinguishable. It's really like they're doing it by a case by case or a dog by dog basis. So if the new classics are dogs like Joshua, who won in 2021, what does that mean for dogs like Omega here? I'll just put a picture of this dog here. You're basically telling me that this dog doesn't have a class. If this dog doesn't have a class, then this dog cannot be an American Bully. So you need to make up your mind and decide what happens to the dogs that aren't classic or standard, that are carrying that 17 to 20 inch height. And if it's not an American Bully, why should I be able to register it? Why should I be able to register puppies for a litter from it? So it doesn't really make sense. Also, what's funny to me is that this dog, this high red picture here, this dog can win a show, but a classic like the other dog, or an old classic, because the breed is evolving, is deemed as undesirable. We all know objectively that the classic class is not given a fair shot. You can't name me one classic American Bully.
Go inside there.
You can't name me one classic American Bully
Inside.
since 2010 that has won ABKC Nationals. Anybody, just come up with a name. Please tell me. Name me one classic American Bully. Isn't that suspicious? Isn't that weird? I also would like to know, how is it that a, a Merle Frenchie can win best in breed at nationals in Colombia, but a classic cannot win best in breed at nationals in America? Somebody please explain this to me, because it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. The classic is going to keep changing. I would not even believe that the ABKC is going to stop at Samson and Blue. It doesn't make sense. So what we are seeing is blackballing at its finest with the classic class. You can compete, we can take your money, but you guys will never be considered the best. You guys will never be rewarded the best. You can have champion and grand champion titles, but that's it. That's as far as it goes for you, classic class. I'm telling you, it's blackballing. It's Carmelo in the NBA, even though that might be for just reasons. These things are just conversations that I've had with some of my friends, and I chose to no longer use the word classic, or addressing dogs as classic, because of how the classic is treated. Okay? Yeah. And we have to remember, because a lot of people don't remember, this breed, regardless of how you feel it's evolved, regardless of the dogs that you feel have been mixed in, it is originally supposed to be an overdone terrier. Hear what I just said? An overdone terrier. Whether they had the American Pit Bull Terrier, the American Staffordshire Terrier, even if you mixed in American Bulldog and went back to whatever they were doing back in those days, it's supposed to be an overdone terrier. And if they were overdone terriers, we would not be having half of the problems that we have with these dogs today that are carrying so much bulldog influence. And nobody wants to admit that because they're afraid to say it to certain people and blah blah blah, the politics of it all. But I'm not encouraging anybody to do what I do or say what I say. I am just choosing not to use the word classic anymore because it doesn't make sense. So if you can explain to me why it makes sense, feel free to do so in the comments. Feel free to like the video, share, subscribe if you enjoyed the conversation that we had today. We will be here. We thank you guys for supporting and always having great conversations with us. The channel would be nothing without you. So stay tuned. We will see you guys next week.